So hello everyone, welcome back to one new video. In this video we are going to learn about ROR. ROR means rules of the road. So rules of the roads, its actual name is International Regulation for Preventing Collision at Sea in 1972. As its name suggests us, it was a regulation, it was a convention actually, which made in 1972, so that all the ships throughout the world could run in our seas very efficiently. So the accidents, main function of this is that so the accident in this our maritime field could be less. So in this video, what I would like to deliver you that why ROR was needed, like how its demand came in the maritime field, so that the first how the ROR was started, so that you could have a bit interest about it, so that you can learn it. Because as you know, in ROR the main starting 19 rules, they are they should we have to learn by thoroughly, we have to learn those. So we cannot learn without understanding the why is that subject was needed. So as ROR is the rules of road, international regulation for preventing collision at sea. So I would like to tell you, I would like to talk you about a time, that is when Vasco da Gama founded the India. It was very late. So when Vasco da Gama founded the India, at that time he was using the sailing vessel. Sailing vessel means those vessels which were generally driven by our air, our wind. By the wind, with the help of long cloth they used on the ship, so that ship by the force of the wind, the ship could run properly. After that, by the time what happened, by the 1776 around, James Watt founded the heat engine, that is steam engine. So by the 1776, when steam engine was founded by James Watt, at that time engine was came into society. So as engine came, so the ship also started using engine. At that time ship was not properly using engine. By that time, the time goes on around 1890s, one of the known scientists who founded the diesel engine, names Rudolf Diesel. He founded the diesel engine. At that time when diesel engine was founded, so most of the maritime thinkers thought that so we should have to run our ship with a diesel engine, so that it could run more efficiently and the ship could be made power driven vessel also. So by 19 and initially on the other end, what was going on, that around 1900 the industrialization was on its peak. So trade was the major factor of that time. So most of the ships came into maritime field in the seas. So as much ships came in the society in our maritime field, so the accident also increases. Some of the time, what happened in our English Channel. In English Channel, most of the ship got collide each other, and accident was on its also peak. So the ship owners also, ship companies also making use their losses in the ships. So at that time, generally initially was happened that European country, only European 30 countries, they just made the rules at that time around 1920s and all. They just made the rule for only the 30 countries, so that the ship could better run in these countries also. So that European countries first made the rule. By that time, when other countries thought that their ship are going very well, so we should also have to work like that. After the time, around in 1972, first conviction about the ROR was made made at that time. In 1972, the conviction was made internationally. All our known countries who are in the maritime field, they come into there and they start about. They come and they start giving ideas about ROR. Most of the thinkers came in the society. They also told like how the ship should run, other rules. So by 1972, the conviction was made. By the time in 1976 or 7, the conviction was applied. When this conviction was applied, at that time country also started following this. So who countries follows the ROR? Only those countries who are the party of the International Collision Prevention Act. That was at 1972. It was a conviction actually. It was a conviction. Conviction means all the countries should. It was just a formal way to ask the countries so that they are including themselves in that or not. Sometimes interviewers also ask this question like why India should follow the ROR. So India should follow the ROR because India also signed that conviction and also passed it, also rectified it. There is a term that is called rectified. So India also signed that. So India also rectified it from our parliament. As India rectified it from the parliament, it also regulated on Indian ships, so that India also will follow the ROR. So as the time goes on, India signed the ROR, and it came in our country too. So that was the history of our ROR, like why ROR came, why it came in our society, how it introduced in India. So that was as the International Collision Prevention SC was ratified from the Indian Parliament. So from that time, India started following the Parliament. India started follow the ROR, and it is mandatory for it. So as you all know that in 30s, initially it was for only the 30s country, for all the 30 European countries, for just saving their ships from the big losses. After that it was in our whole world. So now I would like to tell you now about the book. What is ROR? What inside it? How it is made? How the things are there in that book? So it is just like our any book. It is also a rules of it is book of rules. So it is also divided in the section. Like that we have chapters in our books, so that it has 6 main chapters. 6 main chapters. In this chapter they have 41 parts, like 41 rules in that, and with 4 annexes. 4 annexes are there. Annexes are nothing, just additional information, so that the thing where the place where the rule is written, it cannot be too much enlarged. Only for that the annexes are made, so that additional information could be added in the secondary part of the ROR. Like for light and saving rules, the information given in our rules, like this is the light, this is the rule, and next all the things remaining, how it is made, its height, its length, everything, what is the density and all, it is all there in our annexes. So like that annexes was made. So we have 6 parts of it, 41 rules are there, and 4 annexes. Now I will tell you about what are the parts of it. So here it's first part, that is general. So in general there's only 3 things are given, like general, its application, and its responsibility. So 3 things are there: general, application, and responsibility. So in general it is given that general rules of the ROR. In application is that in general what is there, like the definition of the things, like how the ship, what is vessel, how can you define vessel, what is the vessel is. So all these definitions are there in our general. Like after that where it will be applied, that is given in the application. And after the application, who will be responsible, who could change those rules, who can just if any change could come in that rule, that who is the responsible and who can change these rules. So that is what the responsibility. In first part, generally all the where if you read the constitution and any other book of the rules, you will just find the same way. Like general, application, and ROR means generally what is the things are there. They should be defined properly by words. Then their application, where they are applied. Then their responsibility, who is going to be responsible for their application. So steering and sailing. In steering and sailing we have only 2 things. Like in steering, as you can understand by the word, those ships which can be run by our steering. Steering means those who already have some, those who are driven by power. And power, like in our cars we have steering, like that in ships also they could move by that. And in sailing means they generally move by the air, by the direction of changing the movement of the cloth, which is long liquor that is binded in the ship, so that the ship could move from one direction to another. These are all the sailing vessels. So steering vessels are those which are power driven, sailing are those which are generally run by the air. So here in the B part, what is that? There are 3 sections. First is any condition of visibility. Like in the second part of that ROR, there is in second part there is B1, B2 and B3. Like third 3 section of this. This is B part. So 3 sections of this are like any condition of visibility. In any condition of visibility, how could ship will run? All that our information is given there. Second one is in sight of another. Matlab means you could see another vessel also. Third one is restricted visibility. If you cannot see another vessel, then how will you run your ship? These are the 3 rules of our B part. After the B part, there is the C. C in light and ships. In light and ships, what is given, like about the ships. like which type of light and shape should be there on the ship. Like if you read the ROR book, you would know like your port side should be red, your starboard side should be green, like that. Your front sides it should have some angle and it should be broad. Your backs stern light are a bit shorter, like that. They are providing the rules like how much the height of the forward most light, forward mast light, like that. So they are given your C part, like it is B, it is second, you can say C, B, and after that there is a C part. In that you have given that light and shapes. After light and shapes, in the D part, they will tell you about sounds and signals, like what different kind of sounds could be generated with the help of Morse code or any coding like that, so that ship could understand. In D part, they will tell you about sound and signal. In E part, what is there? There is something special in your E part. That is exception. In C part, now I'll tell you about E part. This is E part. In E, you are given the exemption. Why these exemptions are given? This is the question. Like those ships whose, as they given in your book, like those ships whose keel is laid before the 1960s, they could follow the rules with some exemption. Like after the ROR applied, the ships are new made, and at that time the ships are made, they could follow the ROR rules. Before that, those ships are, what happened to them? The committee was think about that what will happen to them, how they will run. So for them, some exemptions are made. Like you can adjust your light. If you don't have like some of the special parts, if you don't have like your length of your monkey island and all. These are small things are there. If you don't have that measurement properly, so with what correction you could run your ship, those whose keel laid before 1960. And those are already made before these exception was applied. Like in 1972, that prevention collision was made, and in 1977 it was applied. So those which made before 1977, they could follow that. They could follow your ship. They could run in the industry with the help of some exemption. So that is there in your E part. After that, there is F. In F, there is a small thing like verification of compliance with the provision of convention. In this, just generally things are given like how could you run your ship with the help of some of the special things. So like that, your ROR is giving in your book. One by one, if you go through all these 6 parts, like what the 6 part I have told you, in your ROR there is 41 parts, 41 rules, 41 rules of 6 part, like 6 part, 41 rules and 4 annexes. In annexes, only extra things are there. What are your 6 rules? 6 main parts are there. First is general. In general, it is nothing like general things. First general, then application, then its responsibility. Who made these rules? General things like what is vessel, like that. The application definitions are there. In second one, applied, where it will apply, application of it. Then third one is responsibility. In your first part, only these 3 things are there. Then in your second part. Steering and sailing vessel, in that 3 things are there. Any condition of visibility, like any condition in which you are going to run your ship. Then in sight of another, like if you can see the another vessel and another vessel can see you. And then restricted visibility, is you cannot see the vessel. After that, there is a C part. C part means part C. These 3 are the part of steering and sailing vessel. After that, you have C part. In C part, there is light and shapes. After light and shapes, you have D part. In D, there is given sound and signal light. Sound and signal, you have given like what are the sound created by shape, signal and all that. They are given in there line by line. If you just first understood the background of the book, then you could easily learn what is there in the book and go through one by one of it. After that, in E part is just easy. Exemptions are there, like those ships who were made before 1977, they could run in the industry with the help of some exemption. And in E part, verification of compliance with the provision of convention, like that. So thank you. Here we this is our lecture is completed. In next, I would like to give you content about our one by one rules, like part A, B, C, D, like that. So in this video, I just try to give you about the idea why this rules was made, what the initial stage of that. Like Vasco da Gama came in India. After that, they founded the sailing route of India, maritime route of India. After that, James Cook James Watt founded the steam engine. After that, in 1890s, our diesel engine was founded. Then in 90s, industrialization was on its peak. So most of the ships came. After that, trading was on its peak. So trade was also going on very well. When trade is keep on, then collision was also started. Like ship don't know where they should go, where they should go. They are just blindly going on. So collision started. So that only initially 30 countries was made that collision. When in 30 countries made, after the some time, all the countries throughout the world made the collision, made the prevention convention. Why India follows should mandatory of it? Because India also signed that. India rectified it from its parliament. So all this there. So thank you. In the next lecture, I would like to tell you about next rules of it. So thank you.